Wonder.
Hi everyone, caught me putting away some dishes. Thank you for joining me for this video where I am making a banana pudding cake. I made one for my mom's birthday and only got a little bit of it, so I thought I would make another one now that I am here at home.
Like, he's got to become that character. Like Terrence said, he needs to transform into James Baldwin. I can't imagine that James Baldwin probably isn't what his hero to be honest with you. Like, how old is what, like 50 plus years old? You're saying is or wasn't? No, is. Oh, yeah, man. Like, oh, absolutely.
She works a 9 to 5, cruising down 45. Last night was a vibe, she felt alive. She works a 9 to 5, cruising down 45. Last night was a vibe, she felt alive. She's been doing a little bit of soul searching. She's single, but she's still searching. Hardly on the scene, always working. She told me your pickup lines ain't working. She works a 9 to 5, cruising down 45. Last night was a vibe, she felt alive. She works a 9 to 5, cruising down 45. Last night was a vibe, she felt alive.
Fuck you, Quinn. Fuck you, Quinn. Fuck you, Quinn. Fuck you, Quinn. Fuck you, Quinn.
She works a 9 to 5, cruising down 45. Last night was a vibe, she felt alive. She works a 9 to 5, cruising down 45. Last night was a vibe, she felt alive. She's been doing a little bit of soul searching. She's single, but she's still searching. Hardly on the scene, always working. She told me your pickup lines ain't working. She works a 9 to 5, cruising down 45. Last night was a vibe, she felt alive. She works a 9 to 5, cruising down 45. Last night was a vibe, she felt alive.
Fuck you, Quinn. Fuck you, Quinn. Fuck you, Quinn. Fuck you, Quinn.
You ever had a Coors Light? You ever had a Coors Light? I don't think so. Me neither. Okay. Yeah, but you had a Miller. I know you had an MGD, the champagne of beer. No. I don't think I've ever had like light beer. You know, like when you see white people drinking them in like TV shows and shit when you were a kid. Yeah, you're like racist. You want to stay away from that shit. I honestly don't think I've had any of that shit. Like I've had Yingling.
Fragrance on, makeup on, this your favorite song. You know me on. Fragrance on, makeup on, this your favorite song. You know me on. Fragrance on, makeup on, this your favorite song. You know me on. Fragrance on, makeup on, this your favorite song. You know me on. I feel a vibe and an aura. What's that? Dio and Diodora. Got my cake up like Forrest Gatto. Come and kick it in my chateau. Oh no, this ain't daddy money. This is dirty money. Dirty cup, clean head to toe. That's a clean up. Fragrance on, makeup on is your favorite song. You know we on. Fragrance on, makeup on is your favorite song. You know we on. Fragrance on, makeup on is your favorite song. You know we on. Fragrance on, makeup on is your favorite song. You know we on.
Look, it's Indiana Jones, man. I want to see, Colin Farrell really makes this role kind of his own. I've seen a couple different variants of the Penguin, and from the '60s, to just like a Cockney slob. He's just monocle because he's dumb. Like, that character is dumb, and he thinks that having a monocle. So yeah, but he's also called the Penguin, which I mean, but I get it. Like, he's got a limp, and that's why they call him that, right? But yeah, we'll see.
Very cool, very cool. Next up is Eternal of 1970, to be specific. I'm very interested to see what they do with this, considering that movie series is known for.
I don't know if they're going to do it. I haven't seen Down 4 yet. This looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
that's where my bar is right now, yo. Like, it's not
at the volume.
Those a little more real, authentic.
Right.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not here to like shit on this movie. I actually really want to see it because the fuck.
Okay.
I'm a big fan. What the fuck?
I love how Micah, when he has to mention a black woman, he just literally disappears.
I'm going to talk about, so let's get right into it. There is a review for the Super Mario Brothers movie up on our YouTube channel, and also so Carrie and I did that review. It's a no spoiler review, so check that out and share that out as you see fit.
Was she one of the people that was all about like Charles Martinet doing the Mario voice?
Luigi, like no, that's too many words.
Yeah, he gets like 4 words max, right? Like that's really kind of it. Maybe 3.
Yeah, so
he can't say anything else. Like that. That's it. Yeah. So Super Mario Brothers review is up. Kara gives her thoughts on the movie. And I wish I could join you in this because I haven't had a chance to see it. Terrence, you watched the new Monique special, the stand-up comedy special on Netflix.
I was going to have the Netflix special because I wanted to see if she changed her material.
Yeah, I was about to say, it reminds from the way people are talking about it.
Have a very unique way of making movies.
It's true. I feel like this really makes such a perfect counterpoint to our El Mariachi conversation last week. Even though I would say, honestly, the more I watch Evil Dead 2, the more questions I have. I don't think I even understand to this day how being Evil Dead works. Do you just get bitten and then you're evil? Contagious? I don't even know.
Yeah,
I mean, like, no.
Because sometimes we are along for this really fun journey. One of the fun things that we're not going to get a chance to talk about, but I want to mention it here, is that that big head at the end of Evil Dead 2 that comes in and kind of sucks, Ash out to hell. That was so big they couldn't actually take it with them back to California, so they left it where they shot the film, and years later they found it in like a haunted house in North Carolina. Somebody repurposed it and used that big head, so it got put to good use there.
Oh, bless them. As a person with a big head, I'm glad that other people are treasuring gigantic, scary heads.
Well, let's get into why this movie works. If Bruce Campbell is the only person who could play Ash, and what comes when filmmakers support each other. Amy, I think it's time to unspool the people. They weren't horror guys. They wanted to make comedies. But in a post-Texas Chainsaw
Took the film to the 1982 Cannes Film Festival, where no less than Stephen King called it.
That movie was called Crime Wave, and it was the worst experience of their lives. I mean, so bad professionally and critically and emotionally that they probably would have never gotten to make a film again if they hadn't decided to tell the same about this idea Midwest, snowy, crime story, money. Like, for the most part, they kind of stay on their own sides of the field. You know, whether it's Dark Man, going back to what you were saying about, you know, why is Crime Wave not a great mix? Is because the style of this show on Starz, called the Chair, and it was about they gave two different directors the same script, and one made like a mumblecore movie, and one made like an American Pie style film. And it was better to learn with your friends than to learn in a different way. And I think that Tarantino was very aware of that early on, where he only let Tony Scott make True Romance. He's like, okay, you can make that one. I'm gonna make this one. And he held back certain things because he knew he wanted to make it differently. And, you know, I think his big regret is Natural Born Killer and Oliver Stone got it from Tarantino. And whereas True Romance feels like a Tarantino directed by Tony Scott, Natural Born Killers just feels like an Oliver Stone film.
It does. Yeah, it really does. He can do. You know, just all interference. Like, they have 15 times the money and none of the freedom. And I mean, that's interesting because now I think of Raimi as a space and I don't know what inside of him made it able to switch from just becoming more successful and having serious responsibility. But that feels like
Like a tribute to that, Uncle Love belonging to Freddy Krueger is hanging in the tool shed. And able to like there is this like support. I think when you look at people like John Carpenter and Robert Rodriguez or Tarantino, and there was an article about Tarantino recently that he reached out to the director of the Super Mario movie, the first John Carpenter, to save them from this Hollywood exile. And there's energy here, maybe from the I feel like he's going to deliver something that is going to be unique and fun and weird, and also that will be people pleasing. And you know, on varying levels, like Dark Man, you know, I think that was a bigger movie, but I think it's sort of like it's weird enough to capture people and have people talk about it. Like this movie too. Like, you have to go see Evil Dead 2 because I saw X, Y, and Z. Like, I still remember out of every Marvel movie I've seen, and I'm a big Marvel fan, you know that, but like I still remember that opening sequence of Doctor Strange where he's like a giant eyeball in the middle of New York City. That's so visually more interesting than a lot of stuff. Like it just is incredibly real. I really like the thing.
But then I want to think about this and see this one step further. That artist is people who they might make it often like almost any type of thing very lately. There's one of those art things, you know? But like people own that art. What is it higher involved than them? And what if they don't have a future disputes behind? And like what if they can see a reminder of one people like this, smile at it and make them a little bit nicer? What if instead of me being such a high standard
So you saw me put all the ingredients together and everything. So now it's time to assemble the cake. So I'm just gonna go into it. Not gonna do too much talking, but just wanted you to know what I'm doing. I'll include any sort of descriptions as needed as I go along. So I'm gonna get out all my ingredients. Let's start with the cake. I have some things in the refrigerator like the whipped cream, all of the sort of dairy ingredients, pretty much the cake, and there's like sort of I think it was sweetened condensed milk and skim milk. It's you put over the cake to sort of soak into the cake. So the first step with the cake is I'm trying to decide if I'm going to cut it in half. I think I am. And then you put on that condensed milk after you sort of punch holes into the cake. Let that soak in. Then there is a banana pudding cream type mixture that you saw me mix up. That goes on next. And then the bananas, or it may be the bananas, then I think it's the bananas first, and then the cream mixture. I'll have to look at the recipe again. And then you do 2 layers, and then after that you put on the whipped cream and just basic whipped cream and, you know, sort of Nilla wafers in there somewhere if you want, on the sides or into the cream. I like to sort of smash mine up. I'm also going to use this Chessman cookies, which I use in my regular banana pudding when I just make it without a cake, when I just do the cookies and bananas. So yeah, I'm going to use that and Nilla wafers. I'm going to crunch these up. I don't know if I'm going to use any whole, maybe as like a garnish on the sides. So that is the next step. Here we go. I think it'll probably be better if I cut it while it's still sort of attached to the parchment paper. I'm just going to try to cut it evenly in half. We'll see how that goes. This cake, it cooked more like the dough was more like, or the batter was more like a cookie sort of crust. And that's because with this being a banana pudding cake, you want there to be like some crunchiness to it. So this almost baked more like a, I would say like a biscuit. And that will soften up when you put the mixture on it. So right now, just gonna go through here. Don't know how even I'm getting this, but it doesn't matter. The main thing is just to try to get this into 2 parts. So let's see. Okay. Looks like I got that cut in half. As you can see, it's still a little bit soft inside, which is fine. Taste that. And it does taste like banana cake. So if you only wanted to make a banana cake, that would probably work. So seeing as how this is gonna go in the refrigerator anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and sort of demolish this cake. I'm gonna use this container because, like I said, it's gonna go in the refrigerator. You have to keep this, you can't keep it out or everything will go bad. So I'm gonna do my first layer, which will be this top layer. And I'm actually going to turn it this way, and I'm just gonna sort of put it in here, and if it's gonna tear up a little bit, that's fine. So next thing I'm gonna do is get a fork and going to punch some holes. Now the last time I did this, I forgot to punch the holes in the second layer. I think it does make a difference so that the moisture can soak in. So as you can see, it's more like a biscuit sort of consistency. Okay, that's enough. I have my I'll just call this the banana pudding mixture. Cool Whip. Go ahead and take the top off of that. You saw earlier that when I cut up the bananas, I put lemon juice over it, and that was, you probably already know this, but anytime you apply lemon juice to anything like that you're cutting up, and you sort of want to keep, you want the food to retain its brightness and the color and also the freshness. Lemon juice will do that. So if you just leave bananas out, you know, they're gonna yellow, they're gonna brown. But if you add the lemon juice, it should retain, you know, its brightness. And as you can see, I added that lemon juice, it's soaked in. So we have that ready to go. Here is the sauce, the condensed milk sauce. So we're just gonna start putting this together. Let me grab the cookies. Now I'm just gonna take these cookies, put them in a bag, crunch them up. I had to pull out my other camera today, my Nikon, because I ran out of battery power. Still haven't purchased another battery for my Sony. So let's see. I'm gonna use about half of those to start with. Hard to get into these chestnut cookies. Just gonna throw those in there. Let's see. Got that crunched up. Let's see. Alright, got the crunched up cookies. We got some whole cookies. So let's get this thing assembled. I'm gonna use a spoon. And let's get the plastic off of this here. Alright, here we go. I'm going to start with condensed milk, and we're just going to put that over this first layer. And as you can see, it's not a lot of this, but it will make a difference as it soaks into the cake. I almost want to call this like a cookie, because really the batter, even though you know it's soft, like there's parts of this that didn't, you know, it's very like soft in the middle. I'm just gonna put that on there. Okay, so now I think what I want to do is I think I want to do this part next. So I'm going to use half of this. This is probably the part outside of the bananas that is going to make this taste the most like a banana pudding. Because this is the part that included the banana pudding mix. Also, there's some whipped cream in this as well. Don't want to use too much. I want to make sure I have enough left for the second layer, the top layer. So, okay, now we get to do the bananas. I'm just going to use my hands. My hands are clean, people. Thank you. Just going to get these on, and again, using half. because we got 2 layers. Spread these out a little bit. Also, that lemon that I put on here is really going to help the flavor. As you saw, I like to use grated lemon and orange, which I guess technically you call that zest. But I feel that in baked dishes, mostly desserts, the desserts that I make, I like to use zest of lemon and orange. It just really gives the food a nice flavor. I really don't like to use a lot of bananas in my banana pudding. That's just me. I'm gonna wash my hands for a minute. I try to always keep like some dishwater with bleach in it so that I can wash my hands as I cook. Okay, so next coat is actually the cookies. So I'm gonna add some of this here, and then maybe half. And there's really like no rhyme or reason to this. Okay, now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add the second layer. So this part, again, I'm just going in. Some of this is going to tear up. That's fine. I'm actually going to press it down. Going to get my fork, and we're going to punch holes again. In particular, I want to get it like around the edges where it's sort of baked a little harder. The middle is more soft. I said I wasn't going to do a lot of talking through this, so I'm going to try to be quiet and just work on this. Okay. Now I can use all of this condensed milk mixture, which there isn't a lot, so this is also adding a little bit more sweetness. Okay, now I'm gonna add the rest. This time I'm gonna do it, well, let's do the bananas. Yeah, let's do the bananas because this has a lot of moisture in it and I want that to soak in. So as you can see, there's not a lot of bananas. I love bananas, but when it comes to like banana puddings and cakes and things like that, the less, I like the flavor, not so much the texture. So I don't really want you to like taste like a whole banana like piece, you know, so kind of use that a little sparingly. The banana flavoring is also in the cake, so in the mixture. So for me personally, other people might want to use, like, only use 3 bananas. Some people might want to use 4 or 5 or 6. I just rather use minimal actual bananas. All right, we're coming down to the finish line. So now, I'm gonna go in with all of this mixture here. Spread that out. One thing I will tell you about this that I remember when I made this at my mom's is that it's going to taste better the second or third day after everything just soaks in. So Spread out. Cookies will be next. Whipped cream and then more cookies. And that's how we will finish this off. Take out my other camera because the battery died on this one when I was baking the cake. Then I had to wait for the cake to cool off before I went any further. So basically,